I forgot to start recording, but we're gonna finish chapter 10 now. You're already down to your last few men. On any past battlefield, Victoria would have needed at least 2 more Steam Knights in order to hold me off. But look at yourselves now. You're just a bunch of plain soldiers. Hold formation. Those who still have energy in your shields, stand together with me. Snipers, sustained fire. Pin him. Yes, Captain. I've said it before. No matter how strong he is, he's still just a flesh and blood sarcasm infected. His arts have a limit. You'll wait until my... You want to wait until I cast my body dry. You'll never live to see me exhaust my strength. Ugh! Blake! Horn, take my sword. Got it. When they fall, they turn their gazes to you, still with hope. I never thought I'd see such brilliance in Londinium again. But how much longer can this fragile light persist? Horn! Robin? No cause for alarm. Falling here, just returning back to Londinium's land. Ugh. Sarkaz. Oh, triple blast. You fired all of your remaining ammunition at once. Well done. You've stopped me in my tracks for the first time. But after this, you're out of tricks. After you watch your comrades die one by one, will you lose the will to fight too, White Wolf? Rita. I can understand how disappointed you are in your father. Yes, a soldier's blood flows through my body. But just as Victoria invented steam trains, only decades later, yet abandoned steam, modern Victoria has taken off the crown meant for people to lift their gazes at, and no longer needs soldiers like your great-grandmother, or me to fight for her. There'll come a day the White Wolf, along with the Lion Padish... Padish... What's this word? Padishah? With the Lion Padishah he accompanied, will be no more than indistinct images left in the history books. Your father's taken note of that. He's ground down his own sharp claws so the family isn't torn apart by the tides of the ages. But you're different. You grow in a changing Victoria. Rita Scamandros, you won't need to fight a land trotter's campaign in the name of the Aslan King. But Victoria is still your home. Excuse me. Sarkaz. Oh, they got they got that near light music in the background now. So long as you occupy our cities, I will always have a reason to fight. My desire to defeat you is shared with every Victorian. Your shield is of little use now. I still have a sword. Your sword? Huh. Common as could be. You want to battle me with a sword like this? Don't underestimate it. Or me. You're so fond of remembering, Steam Knights. When you take off the armor that Victoria forged them, they turn out just to be... Victorians. We actually got inside? Why is this wall turned so soft? Not bad. For an instant there, I thought I was gonna get my head painted over Londinium's walls. It was Misery's arts. He wouldn't... He... He wouldn't see us hurt. Right. Kalsa told me your brain was an important asset to Rhodes Island. My hands don't come cheap either, come on. After that, I'm never asking to hitchhike with you again. Blaze carrying me everywhere is a smoother ride than your arts. Am I right or am I right, Doctor? I wouldn't say the Blaze Express is that comfortable. You better take a breather, Misery. I agree, Misery. I saw it clearly. Manfred almost impaled you with that thrust. That was just a desperation blow. He had no other move. You successfully provoked his rage, and that made him overlook my approach. I didn't even think I could fool him twice. I didn't at all intend to. When he asked me that, I definitely felt his anger. That rage of his rushed at me like a heat wave. If Manfred uses all his strength, anyone nearby would have trouble lasting for long. Best I... Misery, I know you want to help that Victorian officer, but using long-scale matter transformation arts several times in one day is too taxing on your body. It's okay, Amia. I won't drop dead for a while yet. Besides, I promised Kalsa. You lead operators make plenty of promises to Dr. Kalsa, don't you? Inject these emergency meds into yourself. The fight in Londinium's only just begun, and I don't want to see you off somewhere alone again, swallowing down all the blood you're practically throwing up. Amia, enemies inbound. Amia, cut them off. Feist, tie up 6 zip lines to me. Closure, let's plant the bombs. Misery found a weak point in Londinium's defense system. We need to see this control room destroyed. Blistering speed, White Wolf. This was your true aim, wasn't it? Fangs and claws as fierce as these, yet tamed by Victoria's noble etiquette. Was it really worth it? Sarkaz wasn't your present appearance once packaged in so-called culture. I hear your people used to look very different. You can try your hardest, but still cannot kill me. As long as the city's defenses continue to churn. No, wait. White Wolf, you're only stalling me. You and Rhodes Island are collaborating again. Do you know who they are? Do you know what that cactus leader? I only know that they can stop you. White Wolf, should you miraculously succeed today, you will witness a corner of Londinium's walls collapse with your own eyes. Is that what you want to see? From this moment on, the legend of Londinium, ever standing, may well no longer. From this moment on, the fact you can be stood here means that Londinium has never fallen is nothing more than a self-reassuring joke. Damn you. Those dukes outside take note of this. Are you aware? You're finally showing a hint of panic on your face. That goes to show my decision was the correct one. If this wall only exists to smother the screams of the Victorians from within, then it has already lost its founding purpose. You ought to let those dukes hear how our fellow citizens cry out under your slaughter. How much longer until we can go outside? Oh, it feels like this passage is about to collapse. Are we all going to die here? Don't look down, and don't look back. If the fear gets too much, just stare at the way ahead. The signal light's still on. This is our hope that our soldiers lit for us. We wait for the light as it turns bright, and then we can catch sight of the sun in Londinium once again. Their firepower's too strong. Rock, we can't get any closer to the train. The bombardment hasn't stopped. Can the people down below still hold out? How much time do we have left? There's been no word from the commander's end. I believe in my family. That's the one and only reason I've kept on this far. Bloody hell, I can't get these things off me. That's not it. You saw how fast they were a moment ago? He's slowing them on purpose. Like, he's just watching how long we can run for. What kind of sicko is he? Listen to the sounds of your breath, your pulses. Are you finally tired out? Is this the honor of the Sarkas? This isn't fit to be called a battle. Battle? You seem to have the wrong idea. The King of Sarkaz isn't here, so I'm left with no matching opponent at all. Would you converse with a meat beast about glory or honor, when you know full well that hunting them serves to do nothing but excite your senses? That their only ultimate service is as an entree on your dinner table. You treat us as prey? You may be a sarcasm, but slaughtering like this out of pure personal taste is still far too barbaric. Do not appraise me by your understanding of culture. It would be the most heinous kind of slaughter to me. Try and resist me before the filthy rubble plummels you into mincemeat here. I will borrow your blood to record your feelings at death's door. All your fear, unwillingness, anger. Let them burst forth upon me to your heart's content. Vina, get out over here. No. Vina! Morgan, you fall back too. You're going to stand in front of all of us and resist him? Yes. You're no match for him. I know. And you're not planning to turn and flee even if you'll be shredded in an instant? Have your flesh leave the dullest stain in this whole tunnel? Only if you can all run faster than I can. Why? Because there is no because. I just want to do this. When this city above us falls towards us, I want to be the first to embrace it in that instant. If that's so... The signal light in the passage seems to grow brighter. Are her eyes failing her? Why is there starlight in Londinium's underground? No. How long have they gone without seeing the stars behind the clouds, even on the surface? Siege blinks. She suddenly realizes that is no star. It is a button. The detritus that caked it has been shaked off, and it is now shining. And she has the exact fortune to know what it does. She was first brought underneath the palace at 3 years of age. Her mentor carried her upon his back, using a tremendous paw to guide her in pushing this button. Londinium's subterranean sprawled about its own muscle and bone, exposing to the future liege its veins and arteries filled with life. Over 20 years later, she has found it for the second time. Bombs mounted at all nodes. Doctor, I got our retreat ready. Move it. They're in here. Stop them. Anya? Damn it. Why are they coming so thick and fast? Did Misery leave too late? Did they not stall Manfred? I'll hold them off. All of you, go! Doctor, give the detonator to me. No. You won't have a chance to retreat unless we lock down these enemies. Once you've successfully withdrawn, I'll blow up this control room straight away. No. Doctor, we can't wait any longer. Think of the Self-Salvation Corps fighters, Victorian soldiers, Lady Heidi, and Siege's team, and every single Victorian being bombarded right now. None of us can hold out anymore. Amiya, take my hand. Tell me when to push the detonator. Doctor. These black lines everywhere. I can't see anything. Now. Doctor, why are you in front of me? Because I want to be. I'm not the weak child I was anymore. I won't drag you down anymore. I can withstand these arts. And these flames. I know. You're so powerful now. Far more powerful than I am, probably. But no matter how many opportunities you give me to choose, no matter if we're confronted with a Draco's flames or a fiery light of these explosions, this is what I want to do. Doctor. Oof, gotcha. Wondered why you asked me for those 6 zip lines, Doctor. So this is what it was for. It'll be hard to move about, but oh well. Not as if you run fast ordinarily. Fly, my drones! How's that for a surprise, Doctor? I respond to your demands. I have tinkered on my drones and fully developed a people-towing glider function. There's a cap on its long-term use, but at least it'll get us safely down to the ground. Now's the time to dial up the explosions. Boom! Boom, boom, boom. A control room. They did it. Ugh. How long ago did you tire out? You can't even brandish your sword now. You really were doing nothing but making a stand with all you had. Anyone else with your wounds would be in a coma 10 times over by now. Now you realize? Slow, aren't you? In general, the explosion in the control room has affected the cannons. The batteries in the minor section of the wall structure here have all been severely damaged. If we hang around here any longer, we'll fall. Notify all hands. Retreat. What about this soldier? I defeated her already, but toppling her would require spending more effort still. Wow, okay, so they put Horn's S2 in this scene with firing all her ammunition at once. And now they have the "you want to topple me? Buy what?" line in there as well. This really is just the Horn shows off scene. But it's not worth spending the time here any longer. White Wolf of Victoria, you are a worthy opponent. Should you live to descend the city wall, the next time we meet, by my sword, I will send you to a death befittingly heroic. Next time. Will there be a next time? Londinium's wall is falling down. London's bridge is falling down. And so she endlessly falls too. I did it. Until you all left. I did not fall. Her blood flows out and she almost loses the last speck of awareness she has. But her body is as if a part of her sword and shield at this point. Harder than steel. Unbending unless shattered. The weapon forged by Victoria still stands upon Londinium's wall. So the soldier she tempered to fruition keeps her watch upon it too. Until a corner of it crashes to its city's ground, and she returns to the land that raised her. Just how tall is this wall? Why is it like I'm flying up? Horn, can you still move? Grab my hand, quick. Robin? You're not... Yes, I'm not dead. I was lucky enough to grab onto the outside section when I fell, and then Mr. Misery here saved me again. Come, soldier. You haven't finished your fight yet. You lot. Honestly. You won't ever let me rest, will you? Nope. Horn, don't shut your eyes. Don't forget. Your soldier is still... Your shoulder. Your soldier is still here. You can't fall. Robin, you turned as nosy as a certain someone by now. Oh, forget it. I've never been able to do anything about you lot. Her vision becomes clear once again. The city wall of Londinium is still there, and though its highest height is now adorned by the tiniest hole, it still seems as towering and as unwielding as ever. What's that shaking? Artillery finally doing the underground structure in? No, that's not it. This shaking's coming from underneath us. Vino, what did you do? I found us a path we can walk. Is this whole tunnel moving up? How You'd think we didn't know we could do that after living here for so long, right? There will always be some locals who will know more than others. That monster, is it still gonna come after us? It will. But maybe not today. So, you found a new course to flee down. But of course. But of course. This scent. Is it that feline giving it off? No, so-called royal families are no more than a lie. So-called to consolidate power and coin, and laughable as this nation's culture. Even if she is that runaway's cub, the scent of her blood would be no different to any other feline. So, this completely different scent. Interesting. Does Therasis know about this? You'll have no chance to verify for yourself. Oh? I remember who you are. You're that little disciple by Theris' side. Even if your teacher was stood here, he would be troubled to apprehend me. He's no longer fit to be my teacher anymore. This odor of cursecraft. So you've come too, Banshee. I thought you were in that city right now, playing games with my entourage. Trifling, unpracticed artists. They weren't enough to hinder my step. That makes things tricky. This underpass is on the verge of collapse. It is no fine place for the royal court to congregate. Am I nothing in his eyes? Just because I didn't learn my skills from Therasis or have any noble blood? This long-winded old man's genuinely pissed me off. I'm going to give him 100 bombs as a farewell present. Any of you have any objections? I guess W's there too. Report. Rhode Island's people have jumped out of the control room. They had that cactus, so we couldn't snipe them. And the rebels in the underground tunnels? We detected an explosion from beneath, and the Sanguinarch hasn't returned yet. Where is Hodier? He's severely wounded and currently unconscious. Assemble what workers remain, and have them inspect the city defensive systems and report the damages. We must be prepared to activate more batteries, and even the man cannons. Surround the remaining individuals at the station. The surviving rebels will be sure to pass through there. The scouts are reporting they have detected another group rapidly closing in on the station. Madford, don't blame yourself too much. You've already tried your hardest. What are you doing here? Rock, take a look at the city wall. The defense artillery's been shut down? Send a signal. I gotta blow my nose now. They're coming. They're all coming. But the Sarkaz, they're all rushing this way. Stop them! Kill every last one! If we can just repel the sarcasm, we can start the train. You're not getting away that easily. Ugh. How's the rebel army coming from that way, too? What? Is that reinforcements? A team's broken through the Sarkaz forces' blockade from the north side. Who called them in? Did some of the messengers we sent to the city center survive? Did they get to ask for help? You've done a fine job, my Sudian friends. You can leave the next battle to us now. Or more on the professional end. The way they work, they must have loads of experience. Is that Rhodes Island's operator? Break them up. Make a passage. Ensure the self-salvation fighters withdraw from the underpass safely. Snipers, take down those signalers. It's Miss Montague. Montague? That name rings a bell and a half. Some noble in the paper or something? Don't get distracted. No matter who they are, we're still on the same side. We can get through. Quick! Lead everyone onto the train. Oh, wow. Lady Heidi, we've made it. Mm-hmm. I told you. Our soldiers won't let us down. They're her people. Did our messengers get in contact with her? To be more precise, it was your Rhodes Island messenger. Dagda. Look, it's Dagda. That tart. There among the crowd, Dagda sees them too. She throws down the sarcasm she's tussling with and rushes through the passage made with no hesitation, arms reached out to her partners caked in grime. I was so scared I'd be late. No, you weren't. No matter when you come back, we could never call you late. Bastard, you stormed off just like that, remember? I didn't even get to beat you up. You're still in time to do it now. Aye, Vina. Did you know she'd come back? I know. I get you hid it from Indra. She'd never take help from nobles as mercenaries unless it was critical as this. End of the line type stuff. Stop griping about me and let's get these idiots dealt with first. I never stopped here. Vina, I didn't finish. You could have at least given me a shout. You had me wondering if Dagda was in some corner again even while we were being killed. I was all ready to take the sarcasm down with me. I'm sorry, Morgan. This won't happen again, I swear. Siege group fully assembled. We just wait for the doctor's lot to come back, and we can all get out of here together. Everyone, we're back. I hate when I get the question marks. I can never tell who's actually reading. Anya? Fancy coming in from the sky, all of you. We're touching down. Gangway. Out of the way. Grab the zip line. Don't crash into the train. It's our only means of escaping alive. I've got the doctor held. We're all right. Ugh, safe landing. We... We actually made it. Rock. Commander, is Rock alright? Everyone evacuated out? We have more survivors than anticipated. It's thanks to you, Feist. And everyone you brought in from Rose Island. Huh. You see that, old Bill? No, don't you faint on the job now. The battle's not done. If you can still move, then come help me in the engine room. There's still Sarkaz forces pursuing us. There's nothing they can do now, because we'll hold them off here. Right. Damned right. Us together. Let's kick their ass. Commander, the train's setting off. Already? Amiya, we're getting on. Alright. Go. I'm just checking Discord real quick. Mm. Yeah, I really did have some plum in there. Alright, back at it. Amiya? Amiya, careful. The train's moving. Amiya, what are you looking at? The cactus girl does not reply to you. Her body is still. Even her breathing seems to have stopped. You can tell she's shocked. She's never let emotions as unveiled and intense show before the operators. This moment is incomparable. At the same time, the Sarkaz chasing the train all come to a halt. They all turn their heads, looking in the same direction. A Sarkaz enters the ruins. All smoke seems to part at her feet. All sounds of fire suspended about her. Only wind remains, growing stronger and fiercer. The ash laden on the ground is blown about, some sticking to her attire, some smudging her pale hair. She seems not to mind at all, only silently gazing into a point of the ruins. It seems to have once been part of the defense artillery. A jet-black foul beast is there now, perched atop the still warm cannon mouth. Most likely disturbed by the train picking up in speed, it shakes off its wings. As if somewhat in response, the pale-haired Sarkaz turns around. She should have no sight of who is aboard the train, but her expression is as if she has recognized who is looking at her. Her face is so warm, yet her eyes are so filled with sorrow. The sorrow is so much. Perhaps not all of it comes from her, but comes from the one who stares at her too. Amia, are you alright? The cactus girl finally comes back to reality. She still doesn't give you a response, and you're in no rush for her to give one. And in one ear you hear the calls of fowl geese. You see a flock of them out the window flapping through the air, rushing into the gale ahead of you. The train takes you rapidly from the station. The city wall, the war, and that pale-haired figure all are left far, far behind you. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Is that the remnants of cannon fire lingering in your brain? The train bumping against the railway? Or thunder in those gloomy clouds gathering not too far away? The center of Londinium is right before you. And all of you are riding into this storm. Okay, I can probably get done by 10 o'clock then, because that took 40 minutes and that was about halfway through the word count. Reflection of an ideal. There was once someone who could answer all our questions, but now we must find a new answer together. Your Majesty. Regretfully, I was late. Does Your Majesty share the same regrets I do? That we were not able to stop them here? Manfred. Back then, in Castle, you would never speak to me so guardedly. Back then, you'd look me straight in the eye. Your Majesty, Castle was nothing more than a cluttered ruin and a thick stack of blueprints. In all those years, you and the General... No, as things are now, there is no need to speak of past matters. Your Majesty has returned to the General's side. Together, you shall rule the royal court and bring the Sarkaz victory once again, just as countless times in the past. For me and the rest of the men, we need only remember this. Yes. Even so, Manfred. I really wish to meet the girl. Your Majesty. Do you think a person dreams in death? I've dreamt of them often the past few months. Again and again, I dream of that ship. I dream of conversations with that doctor of few smiles. I dream of standing shoulder to shoulder with that silent commander on the ship's deck. I dream of sitting by her bedside every night, telling tales of the Sarkaz in this great land, lulling the girl to sleep. Is the General aware? He knows all. However, a dream is but a dream. Isn't that so? Your Majesty, your cheeks. Ah. It's just ash. I thought... I do not shed tears. Yes. Why do I not shed tears? Your Majesty, in the end, you still allowed her to go to the city walls? You're aware of the threat the King of Sarkaz bears. Of course, not even Manfred or the Sanguinarch may be capable of successfully capturing the successor to that power. To defeat a Sarkaz king, the safest choice is naturally another one. Did you not intend that when you raised that suggestion to me? I also remember that you nearly killed me when I first suggested to bring her back. Vomit-inducing. That's what you said. It's difficult to forget such fury. My opinion has not changed. But we still need her, do we not? Only when the two of you stand together will the soldiers truly believe that the chaotic and dark era of the past is now history. They will never again question the legitimacy of your orders. There will no longer be two different voices in the Sarkaz's hearts. To this end, we must get hold of the other Sarkaz king as soon as possible. Then go and make sure of that. The soldiers must focus on the war ahead. They must clearly understand that they are following a ruler who can lead them out of their plight and not some dubious power of ownership. I know, I know. You have never cared for that black crown. For your satisfaction, I have never stopped researching the Sarkaz king either. Thanks to her, I've made great progress. Should we get our hands on that cactus too, perhaps we will be able to truly understand the power of the Sarkaz king before too long. The Sarkaz are not slaves to any man or power. The crown of the Sarkaz king is but another shackle. Then crush it. Your wish aligns with my own. It will be done, Your Majesty. I'm sorry, I can't take the Confessor seriously, so I have to be theater kid with him. I did not expect you to return so soon, Your Highness. So late, Your Highness. Huh. You seem tired. Confessoress, you neglected to inform me that the Banshee was there too. Ah, I thought you'd have guessed it. Huh. A Banshee can be more trouble to deal with than a Noxera. What frightening talent. That said, next time I'll simply stick his tongue in a crystal case and gift it to his mother. The Regent and the Noxera King will not be pleased, Your Highness. Then they'd best not find out. Also, that Manfred. How dare you use those toys mounted on the city walls on me? Half the filth on me is thanks to him. Perhaps I should teach him a lesson. I understand your frustrations, Your Highness. Consider this as a tiny compensation for the missing intel. I will suggest the Regent grant you the task of capturing the Sarkaz King. Huh. That bastard failed after all. I've been telling Therasis all this time he's just a soft-hearted coward. It's fine. All of this is within the Regent's plans. Let them celebrate for now. After all, the best way to crush hope is to first let it come to fruition. Huh. The nobles in the city grow restless once more. You're right. Let them continue with their folly. When the banquet is at its peak, the abrupt shifting of laughter to horror. How tantalizing. Incidentally, speaking of the nobles, Is there anything your highness wishes to report to the regent? No. Nothing. Tell Therasis I await the next banquet. He obviously discovered something, but he's hiding it. These little moves, I fear the regent will not tolerate him much longer. Later. Any movement from the Duke's forces outside the city? Oh. The Noxera King will be returning soon. When he arrives, send him to meet the regent immediately. Also, didn't you mention a Victorian noble sent some messengers back? Let us go and meet them. Sir, there's one more thing. Is there? She actually chose to return at such time. Yes. Do you have a plan, sir? Send a message to the Royal Academy of Sciences. It's time for a long-awaited family reunion. I'm pretty sure that's Shining's relative or brother or something. Because, Shining was also a confessoress at some point. Liz, are you feeling? How are you feeling? Are we going too fast? Are you tired? I'm fine. You have to tell me if you feel any discomfort. Yes. My chest feels a bit stuffy. Is it because you're getting closer to home? No. That isn't my home. Shining, my home is with you and Neural. I didn't want you to come back here. But I wanted to. I want to go with you. And I want to find what I've lost. I can feel that they're here. Yes, Nightingale. We'll find them. And we'll help you get better. You are going to get better. And then, we'll return to Rhodes Island. Or we could go to Kashimerish. We'll go wherever you want. You'll go with me, right? Of course, Liz. No matter when, as long as you want it, I will stay by your side. Kajimer? Yeah, it's Kajimer. Kajimer's. Kajimer. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. As a reminder, this is post the near light event, so Neural is currently in the Grand Knight territory. No, wait, the Grand Knight territory broke up. She's currently in the capital of Kajimer's and doing her best to problem solve all the policy issues that are going on there right now. And Shining and Nightingale left to come to Victoria to deal with their problems, but even though they're separated, they're still together in their heart, which is, really nice. I'm happy for them. It feels like going on a brand new journey, while also returning to the starting point. Its high walls give Londinium the feeling of a great cage, or even a sealed graveyard. but it is also the past and present home of countless people. This place hides many answers, but it also leads to a great deal more questions, as is typical in Arknights. Where are we going? To reunion or separation? Are we alive? Yeah, so it looks like we can finally take a breather. Rock, why are you crying? I've never seen you cry before. It's nothing. I just thought of Bill. When I think of him, I just... Old Bill. No, I should do this. The battle isn't over. It's fine, Rock. We're safe right now. We can take a break and think of old Bill and our other friends. Before the next battle starts, it's what we ought to do. We meet at last. You're... Allerdale Cumberland. Call me Allerdale. I'm Clavicia's friend, and the Londinium Citizens Self-Salvation Corps officer in charge of Octrid Borough. That is Central Londinium. Cumberland? You're the Duke of Cumberland's daughter. I was just a small child when father passed away. What's with the, God, I read trans into, like, everything. If it's just, like, even slightly there. I only remember him brushing a sweat-laden beer on my face whenever he returned from a fencing match. The only memory I had left after 20 years. I heard that the Duke of Cumberland was betrayed by other anti-royalist dukes. Father walked the path he believed in for the sake of his ideals. I respect him greatly, which is why I'm here. You and the other nobles within the city, you've been fighting against the Sarkas? Yes, but our efforts have only just begun to bear fruit. I was extremely surprised when Isabel came to look for me. Not just because she's the Count of Manchester's successor, although the Count has always been one of our most steadfast supporters. It's just that I thought that all the Knights of the Tower were dead. Isabel's return was a great inspiration to many of us. Of course, what surprised me the most was... you. You know who I am? I was not aware at first. How could I be surprised otherwise? All these years we have never stopped looking for you, but there were never many clues. Many thought that you were long dead. I never believed so. I do believe many of those looking for me actually wanted to take my life. Perhaps so. But even among those, there are many who have changed their minds. You've seen what's happened in Londinium. People lost their freedom long ago. All Victorians, even those nobles holding tightly onto their titles, must either become a slave to the Sarkas or tremble in fear as they hope to survive till the next day. Even deep in slumber, they instinctively cry out, "Your Majesty." Is anyone who has not yet wondered? Should that sudden execution all those years ago have gone another way? Would Londinium be as it is today? Do you really think my presence here would change anything? At the very least, it opens up a new possibility. Even though you appear to be contemplating, I know you have already set your heart on it. Oh. You sent Isabel to contact me. Is that not a sign you're prepared to lead us against the Sarkaz? I don't deny that I've made a decision. But being prepared... You can never be fully prepared. You're not wrong. We should begin, Lady Cumberland Allerdale. Please walk me through our current situation again. I'm sure you understand that I have a lot to catch up on. Great. I love your enthusiasm. That's just what we need right now. Then... Welcome home, Alexandrina. Alexandrina. Your Majesty. Alexandrina. Hi, Calcit. I love you, Calcit. Heidi. Calcit. Calcit. It's tough to get a meeting with you. Did anyone follow you? Don't worry. I've carefully covered my tracks all the way here. How could I be your messenger if I wasn't capable of that? You've already done very well. Your father would be proud. Frankly, many times in the past when I was close to failure, I would think of you, and wonder what you would do. I would also think about what you would say, if I could get everyone to make it through with me. But now that you're really standing before me, I suddenly feel that all those things I've imagined mean nothing. Heidi, you are well prepared. Indeed. At least, I will always be prepared. All of us will. By the way, are you in a hurry to see Amia? I've confirmed that she is currently safe. It's been a long time since I was last in Londinium, so I have a number of matters I need to take care of. That's good. There's someone... She's been waiting to meet you. Calcit, start talking. I need an explanation. You're alive. And what exactly do you want me to explain, W? You're as calm as ever. Hard for me to tell if you knew before you got here or not. Whatever. Doesn't even matter if you're a monster or not. I got bigger fins to fry. It's Teresa. It really was Teresia. You. How could you let Therasis get his hands on her body? Amia? Sorry, Doctor. I didn't see you coming. What did you see on the train? Yes. I guess there's no hiding it. And I shouldn't hide it from you anyway. Doctor, I saw her. Doctor, Miss Rockrock really was talking about her. Calcit said and W's attitude toward me. 4 years ago, Teresia passed away. Even though Dr. Calcit and W may disagree with me about the truth behind this, there's one thing we definitely wouldn't get wrong. That day we really did lose her. What's this about? I don't know. But my nose keeps getting all clogged up. Spring weather. But the moment I saw her at the train station, I finally understood why I felt those emotions in Londinium. Besides anger, sorrow, an endlessly infinite sorrow. Yes, to the sarcasm, sorrow and anger are symbiotic. It's just that they choose to dry their tears with anger most of the time. And all those emotions seem to converge in her eyes. Even Teresia had never... You're hurting. Hurting? Maybe. But compared to them, the sarcasm shattered by hate and prejudice, this is nothing. I can feel it. It's too little. Far too little. I glimpsed it for a moment, but I was nearly drowned under that turbulent wave of emotion. What did Teresia go through? That's not your responsibility. Is it really not? Doctor, I said before that I really couldn't believe it was her. But when I saw her with my own 2 eyes, I knew it wasn't very difficult at all to accept. Since I'm here, I need to know the truth. Not just the truth behind Teresia, but also the sarcasm within the city. What exactly did they experience? That they would be burdened with such anger and sorrow? And if the truth brings more pain? Doctor... I'm afraid too, Amiya. But we will walk onwards together. Yeah. Doctor? Together? Let's look for the answer. This is also an answer I need. I apologize for interrupting you. It's an urgent matter concerning Alexandria. I mean, Vina. As well as our Self-Salvation Corps. Based on a letter from Lady Heidi, we've confirmed that this matter relates to you. Doctor? Is Edward Artorius' relic in your possession? My dog is at my door. We still got a little bit more to read. Well, we'll take a quick be right back so I can clear my throat and get some water and junk. Yeah, that's her. I just realized I was talking into a muted microphone. That would not have been good. So back in chapter 9, after the events of County Hillock, we got treated to the last story, which was Neo Reunion rescues, quote-unquote rescues, Talulah from Rhodes Island. And she was gonna go run around Russia looking for somebody to beat up. So now we're gonna get the conclusion of that. From out of the ashes, climb a wall, something Draco's fire. Next, just turn your textbooks to page 132. Terran Calendar 31. The Empire of the Hippogriff was officially renamed the Empire of Ursus. We have already spent 2 lectures talking about and analyzing this piece of history. Historians believe that the cause of the Hippogriff's fall from power was primarily its ruling class's corruption and incompetence, as well as the rise of Ursus and the forces of production that it represents. This war is often referred to as Ursus' uprising, representing the Ancients standing against the Elders' authority. From this point on, the legitimacy of the Elders' rulership across Terra gradually waned. For those that don't know, Elders are just kind of like... they're kind of like a mythological breed of specific races. Like, hippogriffs are more mythological or fantastical than birds. Same with like Suzerain, who's an elder because she's like a multi-tailed fox rather than, or a multi-tailed kitsune rather than just a normal fox. Or the Neurals, who are all Pegasus rather than just general horses, things like that. And if you recall correctly from your Arknights lore, there's at least 2 hippogriffs that we actually have in the operator roster, one of which is Heliger, and the other one which is Miss Hildegard, aka Archetto. Both of them are hippogriffs, but they're classified as Liberi. Yet if we look back on this war from a different perspective, we'll find a set of questions that naturally follow. Suppose it was another Ursus race that had been ruling the country, instead of the hippogriffs. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I couldn't stop the mic in time. Would the revolution still have taken place? If, as the rulers, the hippogriffs had not insisted on a policy of racial discrimination, if they stopped taking Ursus' wealth as their own and gave the Ursus equal opportunity, would the Hippogriff Empire's downfall have been averted? Or would it have come sooner? What if the Khagan's cavalry never set foot on these lands? This is also a reference to something in Near Light. Hello! Are you here on Miss Koshelna's lecture? Miss Koshelna? That's right. Our lectures on Imperial history are very popular. I've been noticing young men and women such as yourself listening in from the hallway. You aren't one of our students, are you? You don't look like a college student. You can actually go inside if you'd like. She's not gonna mind if you stand in the back of the classroom. You'll be able to hear her more clearly. No need. Her voice is pretty clear as is. Okay, then. This lecture is almost over anyway. I still have other lectures to attend, so please excuse me. By all means, please. You may not be able to find the answers to these questions in any textbooks, but I hope you will give them some thought. Let them occupy your brain as you eat, as you bathe, and even as you sleep. And when an idea has lingered in your brain long enough, write it down. I'm very interested in your opinions. Okay, let's wrap it up here. Enjoy your brief freedom until the next bell. Do you have any questions, miss? Found you. So, for those who have actually read Chapter 8, you will remember that Talulah's quote-unquote father figure, who was a piece of shit, basically brainjacked her with these weird, dumb, stupid arts that kind of, like, degraded the message of Reunion's theming. And, the guy can just do that. He can just kind of like put himself into other people and brainjack them. It's really weird and creepy. And basically that's what he's done here. He just has a part of himself in somebody else. God, why the brainjacking? Why? Anyway. The evil ultra-fascist is trans in this case. So way to go, diversity, Gwen. Why did you go into the city? To look for someone. And why is this someone worth the risk? Nine, you said it yourself, we can't get anywhere near close to the pneumatic cities while we're in Ursus. We want to pass judgment on her, don't we? Before she talks, she needs an answer still. Without this answer, she won't even believe half a word she says herself, but neither will we. We shouldn't be believing her to begin with. She went to the city herself. What if she makes a run for it? All the efforts and sacrifices that went into rescuing her, and all our plans about her going forward will all be to go waste. They won't. She knows very well that she has nowhere to go. Besides, as long as you still trust me, I can guarantee you this. No matter where she goes, I will take her in again. I trust you, but that's based on everything you've done for us in the past year. You're not like her, you don't talk big. This is something all of us like about you. It's a good thing. And you should make sure you don't start picking up that habit. Are you worried I'll be influenced by her? I don't think that'll happen so easily. 9, a patrol unit is approaching. Stay hidden. Just as we predicted, in half an hour this route won't be safe anymore. She better come back in time. I thought I would have seen you much sooner. Talulah. Kashelna. Couldn't have picked a more obvious name, could you, Kashi? Ah, names. Names are just a way to refer to people. If the sound of this name reminds you of certain unpleasant memories, you can call me Violet. Never mind, your name is of little importance to me. Just like your appearance, your name is not worth remembering. Why have you come then, Talulah? Because you wanted a definite answer from me? Because you want me to tell you that, yes, Kashi has left your body, and you're just Talulah, and no one else. In that case, you will get what you want. I can tell you exactly what you want to hear right now. The question then is, are you willing to believe me? You want me to believe a black snake. Is this a new trick you're playing, Kashi? You gave me more than enough information to find you in the shortest amount of time. I can only assume you were luring me here. Have you gone back to our home, then? Our home, both yours and mine. That's not my home. It's nothing more than ground zero of conspiracy. A nest beloved by venomous snakes. That's an awfully hurtful way to describe it. But you read my letter nonetheless, didn't you? You remember the channels through which Duke Kashi received Scales' correspondence. Not even the secret police who took over the dukedom could figure it out. A letter set 10 years ago, and its sender is tenured here at this college. I don't know if I should be gasping in admiration of how well prepared you are, or I should be grateful that this channel stayed hidden for 10 years while your scales have been reduced to nothing. Does it make you happy that territory has fallen into such neglect? Talulah, under your rule, they could have lived a much better life. They shouldn't have been torn to shreds by the Fourth Army. Stop pretending you care about them any more than I do. Tell me, what is there in this small northern town for you to willingly stay here? Kashi. If I remember correctly, you preferred cities further south. Not only because the air there is more humid, but also because the lands where you cultivated generations of authority are more suitable for your scheming. But not the tundra. The people here led a hard life. They have plenty to worry about sorting out issues with their food and harvest. To them, the speeches you pride yourself on are like the artificial flower you wear. No purpose beyond aesthetics. Talulah. What if I'm told you I'm here because your footsteps can be found in the tundra? I'd say you're feeding me nonsense. The history of humanity is a history of struggle. You remember, don't you? You applied everything that I taught you through the years to your struggle. If you remember all of that, then shouldn't Talulah, the fighter of the tundra, and Talulah, the woman who succeeded the title of Duke, be one and the same? Yet you destroyed everything that I built in the tundra. Did I? Who do you truly blame for this series of fatal mistakes in your heart? If you actually thought yourself innocent, you wouldn't have needed a year and a half to ponder how you should die. The very moment your head turns, you will throw yourself into the next struggle. Talulah, I know why you came to me. You want to use your judgment on me to judge yourself. You want to hear me repent, so that you can start repenting yourself. What you want is a tiny, pitiable amount of mental comfort. Go on. You want me to go on? I thought... You thought I would let you witness my fury? No, Kashi. You don't deserve it. I've rehearsed everything you've said up to this point in my head, down to the very last word. A year and a half isn't that short, and I had nothing to do while I was imprisoned at Rose Island. If you want to survive this meeting, you'll need to say something more original. Very well, I can tell you've gotten more patient thanks to that period of self-imprisonment. But I brought up the tundra not because I wanted to provoke you. Take a look at this school. Look at the students' faces. They believe that the sunlight of May will melt the tundra's snow. They also believe that Ursus, colder and harder than even the tundra, will change beneath their feet. So you're sullying their innocence with your despicable ideas? You think I'm trying to find the next successor among them? No, my dear. I'm just a normal university lecturer. The only things that I impart here are knowledge and ideas. I hold no authority or wealth. If they want authority, they can fight for it themselves. If they want a conspiracy, they are free to find the most suitable techniques in my lessons. You want me to believe that the failure you experienced through me devastated you so much that you washed your hands of it all? Failure? I never thought of that as failure. Reunion was not destroyed in the Chernobyl core city, and neither was Kashi's plan. Right. You managed to stop Kashi. The war he sought, the war that could have changed Ursa's history in an instant, never came to be. But Ursa still went on the trajectory that Kashi had set for her. War is happening. The conflict between the Council and the army intensified, and the will of the people is sparking new flames through each and every conflict. And I will stand atop the most fertile soil, sowing seeds to the best of my abilities. I will guide, or perhaps I should say spur, these revolutions to take root. I remember you once refuted the education of the masses as meaningless. If a ruler is so inflexible that she does not adapt to the changing tides, then she is undoubtedly following a path of destruction. You still see yourself as a ruler. I see. You haven't actually changed at all. I almost forgot you hated that word as much as you hated Kashi's control. I told you long ago that I didn't care who was in charge. How many times has power changed hands since Ursus took these lands from the Hippogriffs? Talulah, you are me, and I am you. What we want is an Ursus that can yet spark fires from our hands. These fires will sooner or later engulf all of Ursus. No, not just Ursus. Victoria and all the other countries will be caught in the flames too. When the fire is over, will these lands become more prosperous? Or will they be dealt destruction? Ursus has walked its first millennia. I will guide it down its second and third. This is the meaning behind the Black Snake's existence. The Black Snake is immortal not because they want to live, but because Ursus must live. Like I said, ultra-nationalist. Oh wait, I called it an ultra-fascist. Also, an ultra-nationalist. The Aslan heir has returned to Londinium. Oh, do I get to read Harmony? I get to read Harmony, yay. Let me make sure my nose is clear. It seems that way. The Sarkaz gave us this information in exchange for the Sarkaz messenger we returned to them. In exchange? They're merely using us to escalate the scuffle between the dukes. It couldn't be more obvious. But we can also tell from their methods that the situation in Londinium has changed, and the Sarkaz aren't anxious. Did the Sarkaz say anything else? Nothing useful. Ever since our spy's cover was blown, we haven't gotten much news from Londinium. Unfortunate. Right. It's unfortunate. Fortunately, our losses are still manageable. Right. There's another piece of news that might be important. We caught wind of this from a Colombian arms dealer we've worked with before. About a month ago, that organization called Reunion recovered their previous leader. You mean Talulah? If all the information we've received thus far is correct, she could very well be a Draco. Ugh, I think I'm getting burnout. You having a laugh? No fun in here right now. No. How do I southern it? I'm so tired. Why would I do that? Give me a slap. I'm sorry? Smack me right now. Otherwise, I might think I'm dreaming. There's a wall over there. Knock yourself out. Try not to ram it so hard you knock it down, though. Otherwise, you'll have some explaining to do to the country's mounted police. I'm not sure what to say. Are you really so shocked? You're the ones who's been going, leaders gotta be alive, day in and day out. But I thought I could... You thought she'd be waiting for you to rescue her somewhere? Uh-huh. But it's more of a surprise knowing she made it out. Thanks, Chin Chin. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have met Rhodes Island. If I hadn't met Rhodes Island, they wouldn't have helped get her out. I'm so happy. Wah. No hugging. But I'm so glad. At the very least, a little less of a squeeze. Ugh. Wait, Chin-Chin, does that mean you're gonna leave then? You promised to help me rescue her, but she doesn't need me to rescue her anymore. Times like these, you think pretty fast, don't you? To tell you the truth, I've thought about it. Ever since I found out she'd escaped, I've been thinking of looking for her. Actually, I can kinda tell. Jin Hochie never gives up halfway. We've come so far, and finally found ourselves some clues. Bagpipe, I'll get to the bottom of this with you. Until the day the Spectre Force is exposed for all to see again. Only then will I do what I should have done long ago. I will find Talulah. Think, Talulah. Think with all the techniques you've learned from Kashi, whether everything I say comes from the bottom of my heart. No need. Will you kill me here, then? You had to avoid the Royal Guard's watchful eyes, so you don't have a sword. And so you must kill me with your flames. Will you commit such a horrifying crime in front of all of my students, who have nothing but admiration for me? If I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't have picked a method that would startle anyone. Don't forget, you taught me all of this. Will killing me satisfy you? If that doesn't give you the satisfaction you need, I could give you a second, if not third name. You're telling me that aside from you, there's more than one black snake within Ursus's borders? You could also think that I'm trying to deceive you to live longer. Your new body is fragile. It wouldn't take any more work to kill you than it took to kill that old Fildia. What are you waiting for, then? Quick, turn my body to ash and scatter it all across this dark hallway. Terrifying infected murderer reemerges in college campus. That's the headline that will don the front pages tomorrow. You wouldn't mind having that on your reputation. I should point out that I'm not afraid of the patrol unit who will be here in 3 minutes either. But your new old friends who are waiting outside the city, they don't stand a chance against the Royal Guards. Even if they begrudgingly allowed you to return to Ursus because of those in control, they wouldn't tolerate murdering anyone on Ursus land. Kashi. The Royal Guards found out that the immortal monster, the mastermind behind the Chernobyl event, was right here. Do you think they would try to take me in, or turn their attention and blades toward you? So why haven't you killed me yet? It's almost time. She's not back yet? 9, you're mistaken about her, aren't you? If she doesn't show up when it's time, all of you will evacuate as planned. And you? She's wearing my handcuffs, and that makes her my prisoner. I will take her in myself. Sounds like I saved you the trouble, then. Talulah. You're back. Not a moment late, either. Is your business done? More or less. So? You want to know what I got out of her? I was going to spare your ears my long-winded grumbling. Good. You seem to have lightened up. Even found yourself a sense of humor. So, what about the evil god? Did you slay him? She said that's not who she is anymore. And you bought it? No, but I am also not the old Talulah who would think that killing her would solve all our problems. I won't let her out of my sight, and when the time comes, I will kill her myself. But I have a weird feeling about this. A weird feeling. An immortal evil god will die eventually, but I won't be the one to kill her. Ursus will kill her. Even now she thinks she can bend human will. We will prove to her, though. One day the people will awaken and abandon the ignorant conqueror. And on that day there will be no more black snakes in Ursus. What about now, then? Now, before we come back here for the last time, we need to visit Victoria. So you've decided to come with us? I'm your prisoner. I have nowhere to go except with you. Besides, you said it yourself. The infected there are waiting for us. Oh, finally done with chapter 10. But I did promise that I would read this stuff as well. New guests have been invited to this city, but it seems they refuse to attend any dinner party whatsoever. Around the time of the violent happenings in Sudian last month, Carte was complaining that a few of his orders had been massively postponed. Everyone thought street gangs had plundered the goods. Later, the guests requisitioned factories with minimum fuss, and we realized just what was going on. You only see them about in Sudian and the nearby ports, more or less. That is exactly why I tell you that they still haven't found somewhere suitable for themselves. Although Londinium is practically locked up for now, they ferry in and out constantly. You can discern these people by their clothes at a glance. They call themselves Dublin, have little patience for chatting with the Londoners, and are essentially only deal in threats and armed deterrence. It seems it's default to them that others view them as enemies. Compared to the silent sarcasm, their anger is more open. I heard a few members speaking Taran to each other, but when I tried talking to them in it myself, it only seemed to enrage them further, as if they can't take other Victorians speaking in their tongue. I went to visit Leo today. He likes the lively scene. He was drawn into a clash between Dublin and city folk, all told. Apparently he sustained a few physical wounds caused by an explosion. He described in vivid detail how Dublin's fighters took up their blades and gave the Londiniers some fierce lip. How he fearlessly did as he saw he should, and how the ruffians couldn't identify him, caught him up in the kerfuffle. In the end, he solemnly swore to the steam knight title of his ancestors that Dublin might hardly have been some ragtag army from the wild, judging by their combat prowess. But if I'd just had my saber on hand, I would have laid them all low right there. The Victorian Army Drill Regiment did influence his childhood self, and as one part I believe you can actually take his word for. He is able to tell when a soldier has been given standard training. We avoid tactfully all talk where Victoria's armies and our decorated generals might be now. P.S. In need of a new Orion supply channel. A page from a poetry anthology in Taran. The poem will be all too familiar to most Victorians, as it is often required reading at secondary school. That was brought up in chapter 9, the bard guy. Also, if you look here, Heidi doesn't have her ears on her passport. She has been peeled. It's kind of, you don't notice it at first, but then you notice it and it's like, why? Count Philip has amended his party's date and venue twice now since sending out invitations. None of them will let their courtyards be lit up at night anymore. For fear sarcasm patrol don't take well to the illuminations. Both Bailey and Lawrence's families are ready to leave, and Renee's promised he'll help them. He sent out plenty of the nobility on out of the city already. A man with both security and logistical connections. It's rumored in a few more days the Sarkaz will completely seal the city gates off. Every party since, the main topic has been what city life can remotely compare to Londinium. It's not just bustling streets everyone hopes for, more so that, as in Londinium, that might accompany gatherings of brilliant minds and elegant conversation, and talk of how much their painting collections are worth, not of potatoes and maize. I came to the city without any position or owned estate, so I simply stand to the side and nod along. Reggie's chauffeured for Bailey's family for years now, but he doesn't plan to leave Londinium with them. We were chatting on the patio, and he says he'd rather drop daily essentials off for his friends than his own little bone shaker. And that it's a lot more interesting circling around Londinium's underground. I wager every Londinium has their own differing complex about the city. I mentioned the anti-inflammatories to him, and he agreed to help me procure 2 crates. Nora made her reappearance at the party today. It seemed the Sarkaz police detaining her in their garrison didn't affect her at all. But when we had a private chat to one side, she rolled up her sleeve and showed me the scars on her arm. Of all the citizens arrested a few days ago, including her, she was presumably the only one deemed innocent. Hence why they let her out so quick. It doesn't sit well with her. She's worried for the others still in there. She also says the Sarkaz keep going on about the city wall recently. Even their generals are always patrolling on top of them. Maybe they really are going to seal up the whole of Londinium. P.S. I received a pile of paper clippings and an unsigned letter, though a glance at the letter tells me who wrote it. I've made fun of her a few times now for using the same red pen she marks student homework with, but she seems all the more smitten with it at this point. It says we finally gotten word of a hereto missing friend, and that we need to lend him a hand. My notes are in bits all over the place, and they're not ordered yet. Still, if I'm unable to record anything else in coming times, you should be able to find something to interest you somewhere in my notebook, I think. A written invitation from Count Philip. Possibly due to changes in the date and venue, this invitation is void by now. It's my second time now meeting that sarcasm, or should I say, being taken aside by him for questioning. Interrogations like that are awfully common. He'll let me go quickly. Still, I feel his manner wasn't quite like other sarcasms. I found out beforehand a squad of sarcasm mercenaries might get in touch with us, but I still haven't noted any hostility or explosive burning in Londinium's telling with that code name yet. I asked that sarcasm today about his name. He acted somewhat oddly, ridiculing me, most likely. No need to bother committing any sarcasm to memory. We'll die in one blink and be forgotten in the next, he said, showing me the oranginium crystals on his face. I don't know if I can work with the sarcasm or not. The more stories I learn in this city, the harder it is to judge. Old friend is practically a cliche between sarcasm and Londinium. Most have met in the Civil War before. Then again, in a different battle later on. Their deepest bond is knowing they can never trust each other. Even decade-old friends will hack off the hand clung to their starboard one day in order to keep their own ship afloat. The sarcasms don't mince this attitude at all. They're forever in battle mode. The Victoria is engulfed by flames of war like in Castle Yor. I wonder how we will end up. P.S. On top of Orion's supply being cut off, other common industrial products are gradually vanishing from the market. Rock and Company will be very troubled keeping work going if materials dry up in this extent. Though even if we win the company's support, there's no reliable transport channel as of now. The railway owners have confirmed to me that freight trains can only transport industrial materials to central Londinium currently, and personal transport uses have to go through approval. A transport permit acquired by Heidi through due means comes with a full page of restrictive terms. If unable to seek this place, seek Golding for future messenger work. Handwriting might be part illegible, sudden bad news, little time to know things. Per Amia, sarcasm spies hidden among self-salvation with shapeshift-like arts. Thus easily distinguished as one of us. Such arts beyond our ability to beware. Most worried this will cause suspicion between corps. Feist plus Rock versus Guilt-Ridden was the one they spent great time rescuing once their closest comrade was in arms. I can empathize. If chance presents itself, I would like to comfort them. Some corpse fighters know I once made a similar mistake. Most vital now is having everyone stay reasonable. Not easy establishing this base in Sudian, and families of several live nearby, but all now under threat of bombardment by city defense artillery. Our defensive arms are simple toys versus cannons designed to melt a nomadic city to its structural level, but all are silently equipping themselves. I want to leave this written. We have nothing else. Seek nothing else. Vast majority of self-salvation soldiers care most how to get wounded companions medicine. How to keep doing the work they know in Londinium's underground. Nothing else. They have never conjectured about the truth of the dark clouds above Londinium. Can hardly imagine how dreadful the Sarkaz royal court is. But realistically, no Sarkaz civil war rumor is exaggerated or fabricated. Breasts of the ancient royal court suffice to tear the lives of us commoners from us. These are the enemies we contend with, whether they know this is the truth or not. Regarding mistake I made, I trusted the wrong person for liaison when we tried to get in touch with Camden Borough. After he was taken in, he told the Sarkaz everything he knew under trial. To avoid more intel agencies' discoveries, our messengers decided to bring letters of no real substance to the RDV point as usual. Pretend we never learned he was captured. Ella was a child anyone would have loved. But we can only move on. We're about to leave. A photo of Bill. Seeing his picture now prompts the Self-Salvation Corps to look away with mixed feelings. We're on a train for Central Londinium now. More of our fellows survived than anticipated. We're very lucky. Things were sudden. Still no time to get in touch with Allerdale. Rhodes Island's messenger sent the distress call to her long ago. We should have a temporary safe place there for now. As Duke Cumberland's daughter, Allerdale is a cohesive pull-in noble concentrated Central Londinium that no one else in the Self-Salvation Corps can match. Corps members are limited in movement in the Central District, under the Sarkaz Royal Courts' nose. Luckily, Allerdale has always been clear about maintaining the resistance. She inspires our fellows who are shaky by themselves. It's rare you get a noble like her. She calmly acknowledged months ago that Parliament no longer existed. At least, it's only the Sarkaz borrowing the name. The Corps' objective slightly differs from Rhodes Island, but they've pulled together into an upstanding force now. A lot of citizens who were hostile to Rhodes Island's Sarkaz are now more comfortable chattering shoulder to shoulder with them on this train. W came back with another Sarkaz woman. She's never let herself look the friendly part, but at present I can confirm she's actively cooperating with us. She tells me it seems the Sarkaz mercenary I was concerned for died a few days ago. I still remember his name. Schwab. A patrol at the factory caught sight of him once after I was arrested. Now I can be sure it was him who put W and me in contact, which was what let W make it in time to aid with Rhodes Island's rescue operation. I owe him a thank you. A few of Rhodes Island's operators are being paid very close attention. The Banshee, for example. His very existence seems to put some of the Sarkaz on edge. The Sarkaz Royal Court surveillance network always seems especially astute at manhunting fellow Sarkaz. If needs be, I'm prepared to support him at any time. Cal said it already reached Central Londinium at some point in the last 2 days, but she can't work in tandem with the Self-Salvation Corps. I haven't seen her in so many years. I'm curious, even. Am I as tall as her by now? Rock's been crying awfully. I'm trying to console her, but really, I fear tears are a must at times like these. A black feather. The black fowl beasts have flown for the storm. In recent days, with security conflicts escalating, violent gangs in City and Borough have activated city defense artillery and caused grave damage to several districts. This is the first time Londinium's defense artillery has fired within its own walls. The hour of sustained bombardment caused several plates to collapse, and major casualties were witnessed on scene. Since October of last year, violent gangs who deserve no fame have persistently antagonized Parliament's new safety bill, disturbed Defense Force patrol enforcement, caused conflicts on multiple occasions, and posed a grave menace to the stability of society. In only 3 months, over 300 counts of public violence have been recorded in Sudian Borough, placing it as a district of most concern with regard to law and order. As a vital light industry region to Londinium, the array of manufacturing in Sudian Borough constitutes over 90% of Londinium's total light industry output. Following this bombardment incident, a great number of factories in Sudian Borough have suffered damages, and forecasts indicate a return to normal production order is highly unlikely in the short term, with severe impact on associated downstream industries. Spokesman for the Londinium Casdell Association of Economic and Cultural Exchange have sternly condemned the conduct of these violent gangs, and following indicate that Casdell parties will aid in Sudian Borough reconstruction work, as to progressively return citizens' manufacturing lifestyles to normal order. Yesterday, an awards ceremony for a Victorian theatre held in Octor Borough of Londinium was temporarily halted due to a fire alarm. At 8 o'clock, the fire alarm was sounded without warning. The awards committee immediately activated risk management plans, suspending the ceremony and evacuating staff present. After confirming the fire alert did not pose a threat to the venue, the ceremony was quickly resumed with order restored. Numerous nobles and celebrities, including the Duke of Castor, attended the ceremony. After it was resumed, Arnold was awarded Best Actor in a Leading Role, his third time enjoying the honor. Despite no casualties among personnel nor any property damage, the awards committee still received numerous complaints. The complaints criticizing the unnecessary fright the false fire alarm put them through. Reports indicate that the fire in fact broke out at the factory site next door, caused by an improved incendiary weapon thrown in a fight between local street thugs, of which one suffered second-degree burns and several makeshift houses were destroyed. Eyewitnesses state that Hannah Endra Jackson and her followers were likely involved in the fight. Police are currently conducting a follow-up investigation due to the gang members' injury of Baron Grant. At the behest of Her Highness Thracia and His Highness Therasis, the Military Commission of Casdell today carried out necessary attacks on the rebels in Londinium, and the last plate occupied by the rebels has been cleansed. As of now, the entire city of Londinium has been awed into submission, and all obstacle to His Highness's plans have been removed. The city's industrial assembly lines will work day and night in casting a victory for the Sarkas. Londinium continues to extend an invitation to you, my fellow Sarkas who wander the land. After the war, the Sarkas will have a home to return to. Dictated but not read by the Military Commission of Castle.
Doctor.
Hi, Calcit. I love you. Alright. Alright. I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm done. I probably did a terrible job reading Harmony since my, since my voice hurt. I don't want commercials. Commercials, go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Oh. Trying to find somebody to raid. I think I might just pack it in. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it in. No raid tonight. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Thank you everybody for stopping by. I think I'll play more Goemon next time. Although I do need to start chapter 11 at some point. But I need at least like a day or two to catch my breath after reading like for 3 hours. 2 hours. It's only 2 hours. Pretty good time. Anyway, bye-bye.